Welcome to the Ingaged Podcast, the show for business owners who want straight talk on technology, data, and the systems and solutions that keep their companies moving. Each episode tackles a real problem, maps out practical solutions, and delivers proven tactics you can use to choose the right tools and run a profitable business.
Do it.
So Caelahn, thanks so much for jumping in, spending time while we're here at Top 500 to have a conversation today about tech. Tell the listeners how you landed in the home improvement industry.
Yes. First off, thank you for the hospitality. This place is amazing. Just got to say that. And it's always great being able to sit with folks that I work with virtually quite a bit. So it's great seeing you here, Dean.
Thanks.
How did Siro end up, finding and landing really in the home improvement space? It's kind of funny. Like, I feel like when a lot of people think of Siro, I'd say about like 5-6 months ago, a lot of people were saying like, oh yeah, like they're like a big like door-to-door application. And truthfully, that's actually one of our first customers. One of our first customers that we had was a door-to-door pest company. It was actually the very first customer of Siro. And how we actually got pulled in the home improvement space is, well, 3 years ago when we landed that first door-to-door customer, we found out that the door-to-door world and the canvassing world is way larger than just squashing bugs.
Massive.
Right? And at the time, it's kind of funny, like we couldn't really tell the difference of like saying like, yeah, some companies are going to canvas and some people are going to buy leads. So it's kind of funny how it happened because we started working with a Windows company who did canvassing. And it's funny because like looking back at it, they're like, oh, can we use this for our sales reps too? And we're like, wait, what are you talking about? Like
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, wait. I thought, this is a sales application. We're working with the sales team. Come to find out, it's like, okay, well, we're really helping with the top of funnel activity. And the Windows company that we worked with ended up saying, okay, well, we're going to try using this in sales. It's like, do you have a mode that's not door to door? And we're like, wait, what is happening right now? Because at the time, it's like we only built it purpose built for door to door, which is great. And again, this is 3 years ago, ended up working with this Windows company and then got pulled into more of this appointment-based style of selling. And at that time, we actually ended up like for that company, we were able to like disable like a feature for door to door. Next thing you know, we're starting to record appointments, which is new for us, right? And at the time, it's kind of funny because we always thought, it's like, okay, well, door to door is massive. Not a lot of companies are doing this appointment-based selling. And again, this is funny because we're getting into the space, we're understanding it, right? But then we started working in the Windows world. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of really great Windows home improvement companies. Started working with them. And then we got to understand that the selling process could be a little bit different in that, hey, some of these companies are going to buy leads. Some of these companies are going to canvas. And it wasn't until about 2.5 years ago now that we ended up being pulled aggressively into home improvement. And the first time that we were, say, like, most of our brand was being shown was at the Dave Yoho conference.
Yeah.
And that was, right? I remember, it was like beautiful Dulles.
Yeah, Dulles, right at the airport.
Yeah, right at the airport, convenient location. And that was actually the first time. So the first time that we saw each other. Yeah. That was Ciro's first break into more like the pure home improvement, appointment-based selling model. Yeah. And that's where it really took off. That's actually where we got to meet one of our very first home improvement customers, which is Victory Home Remodeling.
Interesting.
And
So you want to hear a fun secret? We are working on something to go the opposite way because we got our start in the kitchen table conversation.
Yeah.
And we believe there's a huge role to play for content at the front door. It's a very, as you know, very different conversation, but we believe there is a real need for someone who's at the door to gain the confidence and gain the commitment of that person for the next 15 seconds and the next 15 seconds and the next 15 seconds. And we believe there's a content play there. More to come, but we're definitely kind of doing the reverse at this point right now. So you guys are an AI company, right? You can say you're riding that AI wave. So you're doing speech analytics at the front door, at the kitchen table, wherever they are in that sales process or marketing or lead generation, whatever it happens to be. What are the other trends you're seeing with AI and home improvement that are interesting for people to know about?
Yeah. I would say here, I'll start off with this one. Like this is like more of like the conversational side of things. Is we're seeing a lot of like virtual recorders, such as like Gong. Attention is another one that's coming up.
Yep.
Very great team over there. In that they're not only just using this technology now to, just like for like scorecards and to be able to have like a paper record of every single meeting that's happening. Interestingly enough, there's like 2 use cases now that like those companies are making a really big push for. It's like number one, at the core of the conversation, there's a lot of things that should be captured and structured into a CRM that are just not, right? It's like we know sales reps.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, like you're seeing a lot of these technologies start to do like field mapping within CRMs, like being able to take things that are unstructured and make it structured.
Mm.
So that's like one really big trend that I'm seeing. The second thing is a lot of this conversational data, and again, you'll see this in other products as well, but a lot of this information it's happening at the source of talking with the customer, talking with the prospect.
Right.
And there's a lot of critical things that you can learn from those conversations cross-functionally. There's a lot of things that a CMO would want to know about their brand from those conversations. There's a lot of things that a CFO would want to know about to be able to understand, will this be a good customer? Are we building in the right, are we building in the right motion? Are we targeting the right segments? Like there's a lot of great information there.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of like with the advancements of AI, a lot of information being unlocked. And I don't mean to do like any plug here, but this is like one thing that we also see and that we're building toward as well.
Totally. You have the data. Why not unlock it? So why are you just going to coach the sales team on it?
Yes.
Why don't you coach the marketing team on it? Why don't you coach the customer success team on it? Why don't you coach the board? Like tell your board of directors the insights you're getting from all the conversations. Like,
yes,
it's very valuable information.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I totally agree that it's like, even if you go to a CFO and you say, all right, from your Salesforce instance, like pull me like a quarterly report on like, like let's say like last 2 months churn, maybe like some health scores in there as well, like health index, like what are your healthiest customers? That is going to take a team to be able to build out. But one of the really interesting things that this technology is doing is like, it's making that process a lot easier and a lot more lean and a lot more efficient to be able to actually pull real insights from those conversations.
Yeah. I mean, the whole moat around any AI technology is the data that it has to process things on. Yes. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, home improvement, tech SaaS, doesn't matter. Yep. If you have a set of data that's structured in some reasonable way that you can send to an AI and query it properly or prompt it properly, you're going to gain some great insights out of that.
Yes.
It could be financial data. It could be production data. It could be anything. Like we're focused so much on the sales and marketing side, or primarily sales side, and making them better.
Yep.
But the flywheel of a business is not just sales. The flywheel of a business is marketing and sales and delivery, and then all the way back to finance to get money to pay the people to do the marketing. That like, it's all of it. So there's AI to play in all of that.
Yes. And it's a total flywheel. And I actually love the point that you bring up there too. Cause like at Dreamforce, one of like the strong narratives that they're telling there was, okay, how did we get to like this stage of Agentforce, right? And I feel like a lot of people are still like learning truthfully like what Agentforce is, and we can get to that, but it's like it's really interesting because in the keynote, the first thing they said, like the first evolution was having like a system of record, having a CRM. The second piece, obviously, is then being able to reliably and consistently get structured data, like fields, binary stuff, number stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you need there to capture that information. And like more often than not, I mean, I think we can share expressed interest, we can express very similar views where CRMs are not always the cleanest, right?
No, my edict to our operations team is stop putting free form fields in. We can't make decisions on free.
Yes.
Now, AI can help us.
It can help with that.
But if the more structured the data is, the better it is. So one of the things that I think you might have an interesting perspective on, like, so we're both tech companies and we're selling into home improvement companies, which aren't always tech companies. I think the best ones are becoming tech enabled, are the ones who know how to adopt technology, know how to roll it out, know how to train their teams. What are some of the things that you've seen as you're going out and you're talking to customers that really prepare a great home improvement company to adopt technology? What are some of those key characteristics that they have that set them apart from people who, I don't want to say are less successful or even fail at implementations of technology?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually love this. I think I actually break this into call it like 3 categories. The first one being like a lot of like really sharp home improvement shops have been able to not only just like adopt our technology, but truthfully be able to plug in quite a bit of different vendors into their tech stack. The number one thing before there's ever a signature to any paper is identifying like the key POCs for every step of the implementation. And that's just not only including like the technical setup, that's including who is going to be leading this initiative for frontline managers.
And by POC, you mean points of contact.
Yes, points of contact.
Yep.
Yes.
No, it's important.
Yes.
He has key stakeholders that own every step of the implementation journey.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Like similar to like how we have, it's like, when you're post-sale, it's like, hey, you're going to be, set up with this, customer success manager, post-sale, you'll be set up with this customer or customer support, right? In a very similar vein, it should be the exact same sort of project management on their side as well to make sure that this is smooth. And that does like come down to like, hey, who's the technical POC? It's like, we want to set up integrations, like who's going to do it, right? The second thing is like, I think this is actually really key is being able to have someone own 2 layers. 1, the middle level management, and then 2, the frontline leaders, call it like our sales reps that we're supporting, right? And both of our technologies like are supporting. And being able to have like a stakeholder, and especially like those like 2 different styles in the org chart, I think is very critical. And like especially our sharp home improvement customers map that out. So it's the technical, and then it's the mid-level management, and then it's also the frontline.
Yeah. So it's like you need technical ownership.
Yep.
You need business ownership. Here's the other one. You need someone who's going to actually hold them accountable and train them.
Yes.
So I think a lot of tech implementations fail because they chase the shiny object, they buy the shiny solution, whatever it is, and they're not ready to actually hold people accountable and understand the change management required in their company to do an implementation really well. And to your point, if you don't have the right points of contact, the right stakeholders in your organization to hold those people accountable, you're doomed for failure or low adoption or not getting the value metric back that you said you would, not getting increased close rates or faster deal cycles or whatever the metric is that you're trying to move by buying the software.
Yes. And it's, and sorry, I just share this as well because we too, like in some of these cases, like we will also help a lot of these companies be able to identify like some of like the things that we've seen successful home improvement companies do early on in the process. We're like, okay, whoa. I know we haven't brought this up, but just saying we need adoption leaders and we need the people to actually own this project. And we'll always make the the right recommendations to make sure that it is, like fully bought in. But the people aspect, so many people.
We're going through this right now at Ingage. So we bought Notion to do internal document sharing, and it was supposed to be the best thing ever for an internal portal. Well, we get about a year into it and it's a mess. And the reason is we didn't have champions across each team who were driving adoption for their team to put things in the right places. We didn't have a good organizational structure. So I hired a consultant, and we have someone who's helping us organize, but it's only going to be successful if I have those champions in each team that come up and say, Caelahn, your stuff needs to go here. Here's how it goes there. Here's the verifications, like all the stuff. There has to be a level of accountability on it. And also an expectation from me as a leader to say, this is our source of truth. This is what we're doing. And if you don't like it, sorry, team members, this is table stakes. We're working here. I think people don't have that courage. Have you ever seen that in any of your customers where, especially this, right? It's a big change for a lot of people where they're recording every appointment in the home. And when they resist, what do the successful customers do versus the unsuccessful customers?
Yes. No, and I actually love this. And by the way, what you just described there is the reason why this world needs management consultants, is to be able to help. So great job. Yeah, you just highlighted a nice job description there. But yes, I'm sorry, can you just repeat the question again?
Well, I mean, what are the things that someone has to put in place to ensure success, right? Success can be inevitable if you have the right structure in place. I believe. So what have you seen in your experience working with customers where they've been successful versus they haven't? Not just...
And then how they course correct?
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, because and I love the example of the Notion there. We use it internally too. I think the biggest thing is there's always like a time to crack the whip, and there's always a time, I'd say more often than not, where you don't have to. Typically, I mean, it's like similar in like hospitality. It's like you want to guide people to the right decision, right? And especially for this like change management and how you approach it, regardless if it's the top of the totem pole all the way down to the frontline force. It's really focusing on positive reinforcement at first, and making sure that the biggest thing is like talking about the impact of why we're doing this organization.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, why are we putting all these files in like a specific, table? Why are we putting all these files in, like just in anywhere like where it captures really critical information, right? It's like, there's obviously an input and output. Everything that we do, there's always an input and output. And I feel like being able to connect the dots, especially with the frontline leaders, and again, to the top of the totem pole, it's communicating what will that structure help us unlock.
Totally.
Right.
Well, and also if you think about the solutions we bring to market for the sales team, what's the number one thing that it should drive?
Yeah.
Money in their pockets,
Yes.
right? So I always believe if you don't tie the money or you don't tie the tool to actual money, you're not going to get buy-in.
Yep.
Now, one of the things though is, do you see any of your customers that literally hire and fire based on someone's ability to grasp and leverage the tool?
Yes, we have seen that. Yeah. Some folks will say it's like a cleanup. Some folks will say that, it was necessary. Not like I would say like just like our stance. It's like we're not fully like, no, you shouldn't be just hiring and firing based on like the adoption. Yeah. Like things change. And especially from a leadership perspective, like being able to talk again, like just going back to that other point, like the impact of like what this is going to do. Like a solid example is like for Notion, and I'll just give it in the perspective of us. When companies scale, there's more decision makers. And the biggest thing that you have to cut through is being able to have like a central source of information of, hey, this has worked in the past, this has not worked in the past. And the only way you could do that is like if it's organized, if it's structured, and it helps, like what you described there with the Notion, is it helps internal buy-in to make decisions quicker, to be able to actually get and see those dollars.
Yeah.
And very similar to like our tools being adopted as well. It's, you need to be able to have like almost like this this central source of information to be able to understand, what am I putting in? What do I have to do? And how is this correlating to like this business actually moving forward and being able to see the dollars? Because again, going back to your point, yeah, dollars is really like, what everything's tied to.
Totally. I mean, we look at this internally as the North Star for our customers is to close more deals for higher value. Yep. If we can't help someone do that, they probably shouldn't use our software. Yeah. It's not meeting the requirements of why they hired it, right? The jobs to be done mentality. I don't think everybody in the home improvement industry knows that idea about software, but it's just like hiring anything.
Yeah.
If I hire you to come to my house and do work, I'm going to pay you based on the value that you provide. Software is no different. That's why I think business is business. Yep. If you pay me X dollars to get a return out of using my product and you can't get that, there's a couple things that happen. I failed or you failed. Let's figure what those are, and I can help you in all of those, right? Yep. And that to me is the ultimate, where we as software providers can really partner with our customers. I don't want people using what we do if it's really not providing value. I would think you guys are very, very similar.
Exactly. It's like whenever you're set to do a task or you're like to do your job, our entire thing about technology is to make that job easier. If it's making it more complicated and it's like stopping you from seeing results, like that's a downfall on us, or maybe like even like for us, like selecting the right vendor for us to be able to work with. Totally. But at the end of it, yes, it's to make it easier, quicker, a lot more efficient.
So I have one final question for you.
Yes.
What is your favorite tech tool right now for you personally?
Oh, yeah. So we got upsold so easily on this, but it's Slack AI. And the reason why I love that is because number one, I'm able to set it up where I get customized daily recaps on what's most critical for like, especially my function, which is great because I'm pretty sure if I was like in your Slack environment, you're going to see thousands of channels, right? And it always grows, especially from a partnerships perspective. It's like, yeah, I know I know, teams are setting up external ones as well, right?
It's crazy.
It's a ton.
Talk about scope creep.
Yes. No, seriously. And one of like the biggest blockers and like one of the biggest complaints that we got was like, hey, there's just so many Slack channels. There's like so many things going on. So one of the things we unlocked was like the Slack AI. And again, what this does is like daily recaps. I get to understand like what's critical, especially for my function. And then the best part is now Slack is almost being used internally for us as like this knowledge hub.
Got it.
Meaning similar to like, what we're building as well from like, conversations. It's like what you're able to do with Slack AI is you can ask any question across your entire organization. So for instance, it's like we have a new, someone coming in onboarding for like CSM. They're like, okay, like what are like typical best practices for, like for my first meeting? It will be able to summarize every single conversation thread and be able to point them in the right direction of real examples, which is great. So now people like now learning very quicker, like we're seeing it actually ramp up our onboarding time quite a bit. And it's just like now unlocked so much critical information because we've been using Slack for like years, right?
Really?
And there's critical information there that should be surfaced that people should know about cross-functionally and also in your domain. And now we've finally like, unlocked it with being able to use this. So yeah, I would say Slack AI is one of the biggest unlocks for us. And
that's awesome.
Just cutting through the noise.
So if someone doesn't know Siro and wants to get in touch with you after watching this, where do I send them?
Yes. Well, from my perspective, obviously I got my close friends at my company that I'd love to point you in the direction to, but I do know that the calendar is hooked up directly to their calendars. So if you go to Siro.ai and, you can just go in there and be able to book a demo, you'll be able to, get in front of one of our 6 awesome account executives that will make sure that you make the right decision and be able to utilize this technology. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and sit with me.
Thank you.
As always, a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for listening to the Ingaged Podcast. If today's conversation helped you level up your business, follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Know someone who'd benefit? Pass it along. While you're at it, drop us a review and visit Ingaged.io to learn how to create, share, and measure your way to success. Until next time.